Hey everyone, it's Guilherme here. Welcome to another CTD Lab Guide. This week we're heading to Watkins Glen, such an iconic place for motorsports. It's a super fast track, very flowing. Uh, it's definitely one of my favorite tracks on the service. This week we'll have pretty tough conditions to be super hot. The track temperature will be around 111 degrees, so being smooth on the inputs will be even more important this week with these conditions. So let's go for it. Coming to turn one, it's a really important corner. The next sector will be entirely flat out, so having a good exit here will go a long way. Uh, my braking reference here is the 300-meter board. I brake right after it. From the cockpit view, it's as soon as the board disappears from my field of view. Right here. Yeah, here's when I start braking. We'll brake very hard initially. It's a long braking zone. Downshift to fourth. After the 100-meter board is where I start to bleed off the brakes and increase the steering angle. I like to stay on fourth gear so I can carry more speed. So I downshift to third right before the apex, so I can carry more speed staying on fourth and get a little bit more rotation when I downshift, so I can get on throttle earlier. Yeah, here's when I downshift to third, so right before the apex. Uh, More important than hitting the apex is the angle you hit the apex. So if you turn in too early here, your car will be pointed like in this direction, and you won't have angle to have a good access. So braking in a straight line here, uh, wait to turn in, so you can hit the apex in pretty much this angle, so you can get on throttle and make your car go in this direction. We'll have plenty of space on the exit, but you can't go beyond this red and yellow curve. You have to keep your passenger side tires in the inside on it. If you go with your four tires beyond it, you have enough track. So be careful here. Uh, this access sector, it should be flat out, but the line here is very important. So pay attention to the line. You want to make this sector giving as little steering angle as you can to avoid friction on the tires. It will help you with your top speed on the straight, so be careful with it. Yeah, look at the line. Stay on this curve uh, pretty much by the end of it, so you can open up this first leg of the axis without um, giving too much steering angle, which will make your car lose top speed. So After this first leg, stay on it. So same thing, you can open up the next leg and do it. Uh, I clipped the grass a little bit here. Be careful if you do that because if you go a bit more than that, we'll get off track and I slow down. And it's a 1 second slow down. It's pretty rough, so I would not recommend clipping the grass here. I like to go over the curb, but without clipping the grass. So I don't want to take the risks to get on and slow down here. So I don't think it's worth it. So try to not clip the grass, go over the curb, but not clipping the grass. Um, Here we want to make a straight line, um, so you can shorten the way to the straight here. So stay on the right side here and go to the left side when the track goes straight. It will shorten the way and give you a few hundredths of lap time. Coming to the bus stop, my brake reference is this line just after the 400-meter board. I brake, yeah, pretty much on it um, when my front wheels pass it, so I is where I start braking. You brake hard, but very quickly. We'll dab on the brakes and start bleeding out. Uh, it's very important to go very close to this barrier. Uh, Look how close I was in this lap. Uh, it's very important because it will give you room to open up the next part of the bus stop. From the cockpit view, I like to end this part here. Uh, I point the car to this part and so I can get on throttle earlier and do the next parts flat out. So uh, for turn 5, I brake right on the beginning of this right side curve or just after this darker parts on the asphalt. Just a little bit of brake pressure just to make the car rotate. Uh, Hug this right side curve. Uh, the my reference for starting getting on throttle is this orange part on the barriers. So right after it is where I start on getting on throttle. We'll have plenty of space on the exit here, but be careful because it's easy to go wide and hit the barriers. You can't hit the grass here, or you have enough track. You get enough track, so bring the car back to the track before the grass. For this turn 6, I use this grate as my braking reference. I brake pretty much uh, 2 cars length from it. Um, I would brake a little bit later in better conditions, but in these conditions I found it very hard to carry speed mid corner. It's downhill, so it's does not have a lot of grip mid corner, so I found it very hard to make the car rotate. So I'd rather to brake earlier and get on throttle early too, at least in these conditions. So you am a late apex here, uh, brake hard, let the car go at the middle of the track here, and your apex will be here pretty much. I missed the apex a little bit in this lap, but it's fine. You can use a bit more track here. You can go over this curb on exit. Just don't go over the grass, or you get on off track. For turn 7, my braking reference will be the 200-meter board. Um, I'll brake right after it. Um, for this one, we'll have a late apex again. So brake after the 200-meter board, downshift to third, get on throttle earlier. You might feel like you want a bit more torque here on exit since it's uphill, but if you downshift to second, um, it will make the traction control engaged and you lose a bit of lap time, and it also might be dangerous because there's not much grip here on exit. So staying on third will be better for this exit. Get on throttle earlier, control the car. Um, you have to use this extra part of the track, but be careful for not clipping the grass here because it might be a race ending. It's very easy to spin here, so be careful. For turn 8, uh, again the 200-meter board will be the braking zone, braking point, braking reference. Sorry. Brake right after it. I missed the apex a little bit in this lap, but it's okay because you have plenty of space on exit here. You can go beyond this curb on this exit. You won't get enough track here. You just can't go on this grass. So bring the car back to the track before the grass. Um, this corner is hard to have a brake reference. There's no brake reference here, to be honest. Uh, I try to look at this part of the line when it goes right. It will be my reference. As I'm approaching it, I start to brake. Now shift to third, hug the curb. Um, Try to control the the rear here, because it's very slippery here on the exit. For turn 10, I started turning just before the 100-meter board. Uh, I did not brake for this corner in this lap, but you have to keep your left foot ready because you might need to dab on the brakes just to give a little bit more grip to your front tires because it's easy to understeer in this corner. For the last corner, I use these barriers as my braking reference. Uh, I brake just as it ends, pretty much, from the cockpit view. It's right after this disappears from my field of view. Yeah, here's where I start braking. I use like 50% of brake pressure. Quickly start to bleed off the brakes. Stay on fourth. Get on throttle earlier. Uh, you can use all of this curb. You have to go very close to this barrier to maximize your exit speed. So that was a lap around Watkins Glen. This track usually attracts a lot of people, so expect very competitive fields and very close races. It will be a good opportunity for you guys to make some gains. If you have any questions, please ping me or another coach on Discord. So that's it. Good luck and see you out there.